Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back once again to the World Championship Series America Challenger Edition. I'm Nathanius, joined by Cats once again to bring you to win a match. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, Nate. How are you doing?
Fantastic.
I am cruising at an all-time high right now. We have a fantastic match on our hands.
I'm very excited for this series. The PVZ, some good stuff. You know what I'm saying? That loser match got intense as well. No Regret climbing his way out as we set ourselves up for a stellar finish to the final group. And with Challenger coming to a conclusion for now, as we get ready for the finals, there are other Challenger events taking place around the world, such as the one at Sydney. So the WCS ANZ finals for their Challenger are going to take place at IEM in Sydney on Cinco de Mayo.
That is Cinco de Mayo, wow.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. Well, 12 p.m. AEST. I don't even want to think about what time was that be Pacific time. Australia's like plus 19, plus 18 hours.
Australia Eastern time, is that what that means?
So it wouldn't be on the 5th for us. It'd be on
like a fraternity.
The 4th. I don't know. Their time zone is really different. When we did the IEM in Pyeongchang, I was like, it's like time zone difference is like, it was like plus 18 hours or something absurd. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know how Australians do it, to be honest.
No. I don't understand how they could live 18 hours away from America. You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
Don't they know it's all about us? Anyway, we've got that winner's match ready. I grabbed Ravi's. Ravi's got this pen here. This is fun for waving around.
I love it.
It's going to be Bioice versus puCK. The winner of this best of 3 is out into the bracket, and the loser will have to face off against No Regret, and nobody wants to face off against No Regret in an elimination match.
Exactly. Elimination match being the key point there, right? You play already scared against No Regret. Now you're scared for your life in the tournament? My God.
Yeah.
Just a nasty situation to be in.
No,
however,
thank you. We're loading into Catalyst now to kick off our next match. I pressed the wrong button. All right, and we are ready to get it going. As we have here in the top left position, our red Protoss player representing Root Gaming. He is puCK.
Possibly one of the best Protoss in North America, representing one of the best teams in the world.
Oh yeah. His opponent in the southeast, the blue Zerg player representing Sloth Esports, but he's no sloth.
He's no sloth.
Bioice.
He is no sloth indeed. This guy is aggressive, fierce, and kind of an X factor to him in that he isn't that well known. Players are not going to be able to research him all that much, even though someone like puCK has probably played against him countless times. Yeah,
puCK is one of the players that we know in NA, at least I know. When he streams and when he plays, and he does stream a lot, he plays a lot on the NA server.
Yes.
So he is experienced against these guys. A comparison would be someone like Neeb, who I don't actually know. Right. I don't know that he, ever since they changed, like we haven't done a lot of ladder qualifiers, right? Once those were over, and Neeb's like, well, there's no reason for me to even play on the America region. I can get better practice on Europe or Korea.
Yeah. And that is a mentality that a lot of players will share. So would love to see those ladder qualifiers maybe extended a little bit longer just to promote ladder play, but that is a different discussion for a different day.
We're back into this sort of challenger format where we've got groups and a bracket, so I'm okay with this too.
I love it. It's fun. And I really like the studio broadcast that we have been pulling up.
It's nice being here.
Yeah, I've been filled with a little bit of your energy. It's contagious.
Oh yeah.
As is Mr. Ravi's.
Yeah. Well, I'm just biased because I live by the studio. So you guys will never get rid of me as long as Challenger is still happening. We have that third hatchery coming in as well. So Bioice, he's just setting himself up. Nice and steady pace. He'll have his gas to get speed soon if he wants, and he sees the front wall. Anything that stands out to you here, Paolo?
Nothing at all. This seems as standard as it gets.
Nice.
I mean, yeah. Quick third base, I suppose, by Bioice, but not even crazy quick or anything like that. There's going to be an adept coming from puCK.
And he gets the Stargate before starting his Warp Gate too, so he really wants to get that Stargate tech up.
He sure does. At the same time, he puts it in the back of his base, so it's not like he's going to be arriving considerably faster. I would have liked to see like Warp Gate delayed for a proxy Stargate or something like that to really throw things off. But you know, puCK probably feels like the stronger player going into this.
Yeah. I would agree. I mean, for me, watching puCK play PVZ especially has always been good. He's a player that, when force fields were such a crucial component, he was amazing with those. When Blink was the hot flavor of the month, his Blink control is also astounding.
His Colossus Warp Prism Micro is unprecedented.
He is a player that, you know, his micro is a defining characteristic of his style.
StarCraft is such a complex game that you can really thrive in different areas, and that will hurt you in other areas, without a doubt. puCK is a very complete, very solid player, but definitely with a little bit extra focus on micro.
Yep. So out of Bioice, we talked a bit about the aggression. I think it was No Regret actually replied. There was a Reddit thread made about the comments about the legacy of No Regret and how he got into StarCraft. He actually replied on that. He's like, yep, Bioice got me into the game, can confirm. When he told me just 14-14 every game, and now I 13-12 every game.
So it's the improved version, but it didn't show today.
No.
Not so far. We might see it again.
I mean, Anakin did not defeat Obi-Wan, is basically what we're trying to say here at the start. But he didn't in the movie either. So we'll see if he can take out everybody else.
It depends on who has the high ground, though. We haven't seen Anakin have the high ground.
That's true. That's true. Bioice had, I guess, whatever the equivalent would have been then in their match. But No Regret is going to be on his way, climbing back up, and maybe in the final chapter of this series, in a potential final match. If puCK takes this series, we could see that. Maybe,
this is true.
Maybe Anakin will get his revenge at long last. War Prism on the way, so puCK, he wants to bring out a bit of that aggro with the Templar Archives coming in. Not surprising to see like an opportunity for like an Archon drop or something like that.
Absolutely, yeah. It's looking like it. I like that he went for the Oracle first into the Phoenix rather than the other way around. I've talked about this extensively. I just think the Phoenix still finds utility in clearing Overlords and whatnot, but it isn't as crucial without the Overlord drop.
Baneling Nest on the way, +1 melee for Zerglings being added into this, and a good number of Lings being thrown into the mix. He's building a lot of Zerglings now.
That is a lot. I mean, he's anticipating that puCK will drop a third in the short vicinity, and that's what's going to happen. Will puCK have enough to defend? I don't know. I don't think so, honestly. I mean, there's the one Oracle is going to be a huge aid, but also he didn't make a second Oracle, for example. Now this Archons.
That's a lot of Zerglings he's adding.
Ooh,
there is a Stasis Ward.
This could actually do it. I mean, if he runs enough Zerglings into that Stasis Ward.
But
oh man, and that is so much energy spent. With this many Zerglings, he could have actually eventually stopped. Oh, okay.
Well, the Zerglings are here by the Archons.
That is not good for Bioice.
Clean up. If the Archons can clean up just a few of these Lings or hold them here long enough for more units to get to that third base, then we see the opportunities start to increase for our Protoss player.
Absolutely. That is 42 Zerglings. That is way more than you need for Archons, and that is super cost-inefficient trades. So the fact that these Lings are pinned back here when he probably wanted to go cancel that third, awful for Bioice. Even though it doesn't look like much is happening, that is such a huge investment. You know, that could be an extra 21 workers without even counting the Banelings.
Gets the Banelings with the Archons. Really good control out of
Might get a
with
queen
this
too.
Prism. If he loses an Archon, I think that's when we'll get into the feels bad man stage of this game. But so far, very good control out of our Protoss.
Yeah, and again, keeping the Lings, even if he's not killing all that much, even though he did kill those Banelings, even though he's not doing, you know, economic damage or anything like that, super valuable. Like right now, we have puCK at a probe advantage, actually.
Yeah, he's killed a lot, and he's lost nothing. So
4 drones and 20 Zerglings dead.
Pretty good. Now, he does have an Archon at this base, which will help tremendously since those Zerglings are going to clump up against that bad boy. Another Stasis Ward gets dropped. The Lings, are they going to go for it? Oh, he was trying to deny that from finishing. Almost had all of his Lings trapped.
Oh, Archon could actually get surrounded out in the open by puCK, but baiting the Archon to an extent as he has that shield battery, but the shield battery is not. Yeah.
You got to target the shield battery onto the Archon. That's, I think we're both trying to say the same thing at the same time.
Yes, we were.
I was like,
Because that was smart by Bioice. He basically targeted the Zealots first. The shield battery was on the Zealots, and then he went on the Archon and almost picked it off. Well thought out, but puCK was on the ball there.
Yeah, really good control so far. I think if you're puCK, you're pretty happy with the way that things have gone so far. He hasn't done any crazy damage to Bioice, but he's still lost close to nothing. Yeah, still hasn't actually lost a single unit in this game. Maybe these Adepts will finally die now.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about the value of just having those Archons pin back those Lings. Decisions like that, sometimes you see a game of StarCraft and you're like, well, nothing's happened, right? It's an even game. Well, not so much, because things have happened, or things have not happened, right? Rather, like those links didn't kill that third. They were made for that purpose. They got +1 super fast, and he made a ton of them. He wanted to move out, he couldn't.
Yeah, so army composition rolling together. He's got a good few Immortals, Archons, High Templar, and I believe, yep, Storm is researched with Charge. So now you just get the attack upgrades so that your Zealots can chew through the Zerglings and rip those Hydralisks to pieces. And on the other side, well, this Prism is just chilling. There's nothing in it. Ooh, look at this, 2 drop Overlords. Is he going to have that +2? Ooh, baby.
Well.
Every Protoss player's nightmare. +2 Baneling drops.
Absolutely. This just makes it so that Protoss players have to be on alert the entire game. And even you can do some mind games with this. Very basic mind game, very old trick in the book is just to send empty Overlords once in a while and then just attack somewhere else. I also, I was going to say I like the links, but not anymore. With the +2 coming in, the links are kind of useless. Usually what you do is you load those 2 circlings so that they can finish off the very weak probes from the 1 hits of each Baneling. Here I would much rather see an extra Baneling loaded.
Here we go. The Overlords are coming through. These Stalkers going to deal
notice
with this one, and it's going to drop, get a few of the probes. Another one's going to go towards this base. The probes are pulled away just in time, but are they going to make it to the base?
Oh.
Doesn't lose all of them.
Doesn't lose all of them.
8
Loses a
probes
decent
for
chunk.
8 Banelings.
Yeah, a little bit of a mistake from Bioice not to sync up the Overlords as well as he could have. If those Overlords hit at the exact same time, much more difficult, right? But if we could follow it with a camera, then puCK obviously could follow it.
Yeah. Well, I at least try to follow it with the camera. Yeah. I'm no Funka.
Well, we were close. We were close. Very close. Very close.
Grabs it, man. +2 Banelings are so terrifying. I can't believe they one-shot probes.
They are.
Stuff like that makes me happy to play Terran. Only one of them needs to get in there to kill your whole mineral line, basically.
It is nerve-wracking, yes.
And those upgraded Lings, too, really adds a lot of firepower versus these Zealots. Big warping inside of the main base. Now, the Lings do not have Carapace upgrades, so the Zealots are going to 2-shot them. Once they get onto the Hydras, they make mincemeat of them as well, but there's a counterattack. A big Stasis Horde actually grabs a lot of these Lings, holding them away from that base, while the main army pushes on the left side. A bunch of High Templar, Immortals, Archons, and those Zealots in the main are still going ham, forcing more Hydralisks to be allocated to that area.
Absolutely, that is so important. Those Lurkers are also clumped. I think puCK identifies that, but isn't going to commit with extra Storms. I think that he could have actually killed or forced those Lurkers to unburrow. I think that you made an very strong point in that the Hydras were at the main. I think at that point in time, puCK could have maybe moved into the third. Once you take that third position, you can move and clean this fourth. Instead, he goes for the safe route.
Yeah, taking it, I was going to say, I don't think there's anything wrong with playing it safe, because he's like, well, now it's 3 base versus 4, and he has a fleet beacon on the way at home, so we could see a transition into carriers. And, you know, once you get enough of those bad boys, it's really hard to be stopped. The Observer's here now, so he can attack into those Lurkers. The Storms are raining down. The Banelings are dead. The Immortals and Archons are still alive, and the Lurkers have been obliterated.
Obliterated is the right word, Nate. This was nasty. There's a lot of links in production, but GG will be cold.
Yeah. During all of that, a Baneling drop did hit the third, killed 11 probes, but, I mean, the game was over.
Are you Funka by chance?
I just figured you wanted to know that. Am I Funka? No, I just looked at the mini-map, and I was like, oh, there's a bit of blue and no red at that mineral line.
Yeah. Well, what you gonna do?
puCK played that really well. I mean,
really did.
The Archon drop, I guess it comes a little bit down to the way that Bioice tried to defend it, because as you pointed out, he had so many +1 Lings, and you can't even surround the Archons with that many Lings. Like, you've just got a bunch of them running around doing nothing, while that third base only had 2 Adepts. He got it up, and by the time he got across the map, there was an extra Archon there with the shield battery.
Oh, there was just way too much by that time. I mean, when Bioice was ready to move out, puCK had, what, 2 Adepts, Pylon, and he was morphing in the Archons, right? That's when Bioice had 44, 42 Lings. He had the +1 ready. I think at that point, he didn't have many Queens is the problem to zone out the Warp Prism, for example. He had a couple of Banelings, useless against Archons for the most part, right? Like, he was kind of just
great
mixing and matching.
The micro with those Archons, too. He actually, I mean, he made sure that his Archons killed those Banelings, so he was like, I'm going after the most valuable units, almost got the Queen. Some of the Splash was hitting the Tumors as well.
Yeah.
But a very crisp game out of puCK. He didn't lose any units until he just threw away those Adepts that he didn't really need anymore.
Absolutely, yeah. Very, very clean. I really would have liked for Bioice to maybe split his army in half. I think that might have still been enough to take the third, seeing as there were Archons.
I think he could have knocked down the third. There wasn't really anything there. There was just the one Oracle. With the +1 melee, like, you think, oh, maybe this is enough Lings, but with the +1, it's like, definitely.
Yeah. And it's so difficult to do. I mean, you can say, hey, you should have maybe split your army in half. Yeah, why don't you try, Cats? No, no, thank you.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, no, thank you. You do it, Bioice.
That's why I
You're
don't
a
like playing
challenger.
Zerg. That's why I don't like playing Zerg, because I feel like all my units are just so flimsy.
Mhm.
Like this Archon shows up, it's like one-shotting my Zerglings and clumps. I'm like,
That's another thing
this
too.
is
Like Archons have
BS, man.
AOE damage. They're big fat balls of energy, and you know, like the more
350
circles
shields
you
that
have,
just regen super fast when they're picked up.
the more circles you have, to an extent, they become a liability, right?
Yeah.
Because you have more clumps that the Archons can do full damage to.
Yeah. We're loading into game number 2 of this best of 3. It's going to be on Eastwatch. If puCK can take this map, he'll be advancing out to the bracket stage.
If you're watching from the East Coast, watch this game.
Yeah.
It's
Where is Bioice from?
you're putting me on the spot like this, huh?
You said East Coast.
Because at Eastwatch.
All right.
I think he's from the East Coast, okay?
puCK's kind of Eastish. He's from Minnesota.
He's like middle.
He's our red Protoss in the bottom left.
He sure is.
Yeah. Oh, puckums.
Puckarino.
Good friend of mine. Good old puCK. And
Good old
yeah, we don't know where he's from, but he's the blue Zerg in the top right. He's Bioice.
Mystery man.
Mystery man. He just lives up in the forest in the tri-state area somewhere. He could be in New York. He could be in Pennsylvania. Could be out in the trees in Ohio as well.
Bioice.
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 I like it.
Love.
I like it a lot. Eastwatch is a massive map, so I mean, like you tend to expect, like, I always want to say that you expect bigger games, but when it comes to Protoss, if you want to, you can still do like a Warp Prism based attack, and then the size of the map doesn't really matter.
Right.
I think the last game I watched on this map was like a really big charge, like the charge all in. That's really popular right now.
That is an excellent point. At one point in the game, Protoss can certainly just negate the distances by warping in. Less now than way back in the day, right?
You only needed one pylon.
One pylon. Yeah, man, those.
His crazy kids don't know how good they had it.
These are the bad kind of nerd chills.
Yeah.
All right, so we have Puckarino, Scouterino, across the Mapperino.
Yep. And that big old map, he's going to be looking. We have that gold base being taken. So our Zergy boy, he's feeling fresh.
He's feline fresh. Meow!
Thanks, cats.
But, you know, this base can be a liability in itself. There is rocks connecting the natural and the third that are absurd.
And if you break those rocks down and you cut the base off on its own, at that point, I think being
is about to put the camera on these rocks so that you guys can appreciate them.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
I was waiting for the observer to do that.
But yeah, so something like an Immortal push could be extremely powerful on the side of puCK.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Stargate coming in, though. I mean, Oracle's always nice. You get Vision. Phoenix is nice. You get Vision, Scouting, Harass. You can get rid of that pesky Overlord that's watching your base. There's few things that frustrate me more than an Overlord.
Yeah, Oracles are just really good multi-purpose units. It's really difficult to make a case against them because they're good offensively. They will force the spores. They're great defensively to protect your third. With just a couple of units, you can defend mostly any number of links until you run out of energy, really.
Yep.
That's the limiting factor. So yeah, the Oracle is powerful. The Revelation to go along with that, the Stasis Trap is not too shabby either. We saw puCK put it to great use against Race earlier today.
Yep.
So it's just a very, very well-rounded unit. It's not like any of its abilities are particularly incredible, but the fact that it can play on so many levels of strategy is...
Yeah, that's what makes it so good. And this Adept just kind of trolling around this gold base, hoping to catch a drone or two, maybe a big transfer that would have gone over there. You still got to be careful as a Zerg if you move a bunch of workers over there in case they do something that cuts you off from those rocks. As the Oracle is going to head out, and this Overlord is going to go in for the Scout, try to see what there is to be seen. A Robo facility at the front, and well, he should know there's a Stargate. He flew by the Oracle, but here's the Twilight coming in too.
Yeah, right in his face. puCK does not care about that Overlord seeing it. And he will see the Queen being transferred from the gold. This will give him actually a heads up as to what's going on.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Oh no! And he cancels all three! Now he's gonna have to remake a spore. Awkward!
Oh yeah, oh yeah, you're right. He did want to have a spore there. I was like, what's so wrong about canceling it? And Cats points out the obvious. I'm like, oh.
Will he make it though? Or do you just, pride of they just
He's
they
like,
just saw
I
me
canceled
cancel
it because I don't need it, damn it. I canceled it because I don't need it.
Oh my.
I'm a strong, independent, young swarm, and I don't need no spores.
Bioice. What a guy.
It's been a good day of casting.
Indeed.
We did a very long broadcast yesterday as well.
We sure did for Tespa. That was fun.
It's been good times.
Good times.
I got my first experience casting a turtle mech game, and now I know why everybody hates it so much.
Yep. That was your first experience?
That was the first time I ever actually had to cast a turtle mech game.
No way.
Yeah, it was as awful as I imagined it to be.
There is no way you haven't casted a turtle.
I haven't. I don't play that style either. I just build Thors and Hellions, and maybe I die to roaches, but I don't sit and build a bunch of ravens and turrets.
Yeah. Yeah, that was...
That ain't my jam.
Yeah. I mean, you have to be very patient for that.
Yeah.
For sure. All right, so we're going to see the same Archon drop. Baccarino just saying, you know what, you dealt with this.
A lot of lings coming out again.
I mean, this is kind of the same exact setup, though, right? Like, does Bioice do something different? Because he's playing the exact same game at the moment.
Yeah.
Lings do not pull back; they pull back. Okay.
Oh, well, he's pulling all of the ones that are out on the map too.
33 Zerglings. At least he made a little bit less than last time.
Weirdly enough, having less helps more in this situation.
Yeah, because look, they're all here again. Pinned back by the Archons. And I mean, Zerglings are not what you want against Archons.
He's building another wave of Lings, though, so it looks like he wants to seriously commit to this. 4 Adepts are going to be thrown into the mix.
Interesting
as
choice.
well.
Seeing as there's Charge Slot almost ready.
Yeah, that is odd. Well, the Adepts are going to help these Archons bully these Queens, and if the Queens get taken down, that War Prism can just move around as much as it wants. He realizes that he's going to focus on the third base.
Okay.
The Adepts are here with the Oracle. The Stasis Trap got a few of them. The Shield Battery is keeping these forces alive. Nexus is totally going to finish up with no problem at all.
I think we might be seeing the beginning of the end here, Nate.
Cheeky
this does not look bueno for Bioice.
Bueno?
No bueno.
No bueno. Feels bad.
Feels bad, man. And yeah, I mean,
he could use the shield battery to recharge the Nexus
huge.
too if he needed to. More Lings are going to come out, but now he has everything that he needs to defend against this.
Yeah, again, a huge delay by the Archons. I think Bioice did the right thing this time. He was like, you know what, I'm gonna go counterattack, but he did it a little bit late.
Yep.
Right?
And this Phoenix should come over here and see. He's like, oh, Lings and Banelings. Well, the War Prism is here with those Archons that can soak up so much firepower. He's gonna force field away the Banelings. And that's it. You're not attacking 3 Archons with just Lings like this.
You are certainly
Forget about it.
Forget about it.
Yeah, now these Adepts are actually going to kill themselves some gold mineral drones, potentially. Okay. Focus Fire's not there.
Feels bad. Oh, there's one.
These 4 Lings destined to a terrible.
They sure are.
Now Storm is on the way, the Forge. I mean...
Be not deceived by the splice.
This gotta be... We gotta just say it's a great start for puCK, right?
Absolutely. I mean, there's the gold for Bioice. That's somewhat of an equalizer for him. If he didn't have that gold, I would be close to counting him out. But look at this army composition. I mean, Lings against Archons.
Nah.
Lurker then on the way. So that will be potentially something.
Ooh, Force Field's in quite a few of these Lings. So a nice little meat grinder here for the Protoss player. These Templar are kind of exposed. Yeah, they've got the shield battery to help them out, though.
They have the potential to morph into Archons. I mean, Bioice is just looking for anything that he can get, but all he's getting is death.
Yeah, there ain't a whole lot here for him to work with, unfortunately.
Nope. He's trying.
Kills the rocks too. It's like my Lings cannot get away.
Yeah, you can just dig yourself deeper into a hole, right? Like just trying to make something happen. Again, the Hydras also trying to make something happen, showing up at the front here, but man, that is small.
Yeah, that's a scary army. So what, the Lurkers are like the desperation play sort of, but with Storm and Archons and Immortals?
It's tough. I mean, this is kind of a wide open map too, right? There's at least 3 entrances into 3 different bases. So where do you put the Lurkers? If you were looking to turtle, if you were looking to prolong the game, and I would very much like for Bioice to potentially try to take at least that sort of a route. It's very difficult, right? You have to pick and choose where you would put those Lurkers on the defense. Offense, out of the question, in my opinion. Bioice still trying to make it work. But oh, okay, this could be the start of something. I don't think puCK sees him moving down. Oh, but Bioice stops breaking the rocks.
Yeah. He got some Zealots over to that gold base. So the army has to kind of come up with, oh, the Templar on the backside. Forced to Storm himself to get away from those Zerglings.
Yeah. And Bioice will find that 4th base, so that's a small victory for him. But ideally, I think he would have found the 4th or even the natural or the 3rd and forced puCK's army back. That would have been ideal. Because right now he's in this weird base trading situation, but puCK has so much and the ability to recall.
Now, I would like to see him try to just take out a
Okay.
bait or some tech and recall out. That 3rd has been cleaned up. He didn't even go for the 4th because he's like, there's no way you're going to use that. Stasis Ward, some Templar, Immortal. This isn't actually walled off, but...
Oh, that Stasis is kind of big.
Oh, okay, there we go. This actually
Force
creates a
field's
force
installed.
field, too.
Yeah. Actually, you're right. He didn't even force field because there's a...
Kill the Lurker Den, kill the Hydra Den, maybe the Lair, and just go home? Like, defend against this, no?
I think so. There's still that force field. Does he have more storms, puCK, that is?
If he recalls into like a killed Nexus like
Oh,
the
that was
Padres
bad.
game yesterday, I'm going to be real sad. And he's got
Yeah.
more stuff in the main. Okay, there's the force field. So he's content to keep his army across the map as long as he can defend on his main. He has enough sentries to force field this forever if he really needs to.
Yeah, and this will force Bioice's army back in seeing that there's no way that he can break puCK's main. At the same time, puCK is out of resources and actually behind in supply. If Bioice could somehow hold one of his remaining 2 bases, then maybe there's a chance. I mean, he's made something happen out of nowhere, honestly. I thought that this was a poor move. I thought that maybe he needed to move in, snipe a base, and have puCK potentially pull back, and that was maybe his way in, just claw his way back into the game. But this base trade, I don't know.
It's difficult.
Look at
There's
that
still,
army. It's just, yeah.
and there's no larva there or anything that he can use inside that base. I think the Gold has a few larvae. He could try to put drones out once he loses some army. He was trying to get Overlords earlier, but
Yeah.
that number of Hydras, I don't think it's enough to beat this army with Storm. And he could still, if he really wanted to, always recall out.
Yes.
He has that option and he'll take it. It's like, well, I'm good.
Yeah, choosing not to go down that ramp, right? Where he would find himself at the worst position to fight in the map.
Yep, and with these extra units that he has now, I think he's sitting very, very happy in this scenario. Try to bust down these rocks, lock in that base, keep it safe.
He has the stronger army right now. If he can leverage that to just get the stronger economy, it's not as clear cut, right? Like right now they're even on workers at 11, but with triple Nexus producing versus just the 1 hatchery, I want to say, of Bioice, it puts Bioice on a ticker. So
send a few zealots out on the map. Keep the big army close by because Bioice is definitely the more desperate player in this situation.
I am with you 100% on that, Nate. I think that's the perfect way to look at it. Bioice has to make something happen. You don't. If you're puCK, chill.
Oh, this is really bad. The sentries are going to get caught on the ramp. He throws a storm down, but with the stasis ward triggering, a lot of these sentries are in a very awkward position as the army is about to approach
The stasis ward isn't the only thing triggering right now. Why is puCK moving out?
He's got to just make sure he keeps landing these force fields. Those lings could end up getting on top of some of the sentries. Another hatchery is started in the southeast corner of the map to prevent him from being revealed.
Yeah.
That's still
far
other
away
drones
hatchery
on the
to
map.
take. Would like to see the gold taken at this point because, you know, it's a gold.
Yeah, if Bioice cancels, he can build one more hatch, right? He does
If
have
Bioice could find this Nexus by puCK, that could be really potent.
Yeah, such an awkward spot to be in. He hasn't found that southeast hatch, but he's gonna get the prism, baby. Wow!
Oh, here comes the final fight.
Close the doors down. Oh my God! GG! puCK advances out of Group D here at the WCS winners match.
What a match that was.
Oh, man. I haven't played this game in months, but I gotta say that was the best PvZ I've ever seen.
I'm getting nerd chills.
puCK. I mean, that game got a little bit dicier than it needed to be. It reminds me a lot of Padres' game in Tespa last night, where he was like, I pretty much got this game in the bag. Let me throw it away by not recalling early enough.
I mean, he made some good decisions. The recall was actually really good. He didn't want to fight down that ramp. That would have been the worst possible fight that he could have taken, I think. And Bioice, to his credit, that last fight, he got a full surround. He did everything he could, I think.
Yeah. But
it was a desperation attempt. That said, he was so far behind.
That many Templar with the Immortals and Archons. He had a lot of good momentum going from the early stage. And the big failed attack on the third. Like, Bioice put himself in a position where there wasn't really anything he could do.
Yeah, it's just the openers didn't favor him, right? He was going for Lynx against Archons for the second time after having scouted pretty much the exact same openers game one.
Yeah. Well, this puts us in an interesting spot as Bioice is going to drop down for a rematch against No Regrets in the decider.
Ravi said that there's a curse in play.
The curse.
The curse.
It's pretty common that when this happens, the player who lost the first time wins the second.
Okay.
They're
Let's
back with
see
a
if that,
vengeance.
Let's see if that remains true. Didn't actually happen for Hearthstone.
Shh.
But we'll see.
We don't
we'll
need to
see.
talk about that. Our next match is going to be No Regret versus Bioice, the final match of the day in the group stage of WCS Challenger. Here's the rest of the schedule. We'll be right back with that final match.
This poor town has seen its share of trial.